Hello, thank you very much for this presentation, and it's really a pleasure to take part of this cafe. And thank you very much to the Construction Transformers for organizing and have the floor to share thoughts on these so important thematics. I will share a little bit of my thoughts or what I do daily on this marine and environmental research related with the thematic. So, as you said, my background is on environmental engineering and a PhD in biotechnology. And I work a lot with nature-based solutions, systems inspired in nature to solve problems, contamination problems, to face climate challenges also. And this translates in what? In working with terrestrial and also aquatic marine ecosystems, developing these solutions to solve problems, as I said. So I work with, for instance, constructed wetlands for wastewater treatment, green roofs, vertical gardens at the city level. Then on marine field, I work a lot in port marinas with floating islands to promote biodiversity and water quality. So there are several solutions applied in the community to face these challenges. But of course, I'm a research scientist, and we have to go out from the lab, not just thinking about the problems and the solutions, but also try to figure out what the communities really need and how can we pass the knowledge and make awareness of the problems. Because one of the things is that if you don't know about it, how can you care about it, right? So that is another part of my work, besides being a research scientist, is to work as a coordinator in an environmental center that is near the sea and the river. So I work a lot with the community related with the sea and the river, and also the rural part and the terrestrial parts. And in that context, I have to develop a lot of activities. And here the creativity is really a challenge to capture the attention of the younger people, children, young, even seniors, and public in general. So you have to be, it's really a challenge because you need to have different approaches to catch attention, because, you know, we are in a world that you have a lot of activities happening. You have the digital world. So how can we capture the attention to bring back people to the essence and contact with nature? So this is the other part of the work. And of course, environmental education and citizen science. That's why I organize these workshops, hands-on, a lot of field work, and people engage. And when you start to know, you start to care. And this is really, really important. And another thing is about how to communicate science and these scientific projects. For example, I have these through the center that I coordinate. There's a CMAR project that is called Maelstrom. That the center is the implementation of a bubble barrier in the river. So we have a system that releases bubbles and can effectively remove plastics from the river before reaching the sea. So in the beginning, the community was, what is this? How does it work? They just saw bubbles in the river. So the part of science communication and explaining a complex technology, the effect that could have in their city was really very interesting. And that's one of the projects that I worked in this bubble barrier that has to deal with protecting the planet, help people to have an open mind and see the problems in a holistic way. So in a way that everything is connected, the earth, the river, the ocean, and this is very important for people to understand this connection. Another project also that deals a lot of the public engagement and science communication is in Macau, in China, because I also give, I'm a teacher there at the University of St. Joseph. And there we have a different environment from Europe because they have mangroves in the coastal side, but they have the same problems: pollution, sea level rise. And so we work a lot with the governments and campaigns with the public to make awareness of the importance of this type of vegetation, mangroves in the coastal side. So these are two approaches in the different places of the planet, because we are talking about planetary transformation. And sometimes it's interesting to see what is happening in the other side of the planet, in the other countries. But we have really common problems. The solutions can be adapted. So I would like to highlight that when we talk about climate and oceans, people usually feel overwhelmed because it's such a huge, what is this climate, ocean? This is so bigger than me. And it's really important to bring these issues to people, to communities, and help them to connect with their own reality. And this is really important to regional, city scale, village scale. And once that's happened, transformation occurs because they feel that they are part of the solution and they have something to give also and something to contribute. So this was some of the highlights that I would like to mention. And in the end, this is all about reconciliation with nature, I think, because what I feel when I work with these nature-based solutions is that nature is there, we are here. No, but we are part of nature, and we really need to coexist because, of course, of the ecosystem services that nature provides us. And it's the only way that human species will thrive and survive, is that we have this understanding on how coexist with nature. So this is my challenge every day at the research part, to develop projects to promote water quality, ecosystems restoration, much related with coastal also restoration, and also engage people, and so people be a part of all of this. And so these are the main highlights from what I do daily and I work with. Just to mention one thing really, really important. I talk about scientific world and the community and science communication, but there are other actors that I work daily, that are companies and municipalities, the decision makers. All these efforts will not have an expression if the right actors are engaged, because the beach cleanups, the stakeholders meetings that are organized, this only happens if we have the collaboration between the different actors and if we are aligned in the ideas. So this is really important, a lot of efforts, but it's worth, because then we see the changes happening. Okay, so thank you.